Part 11. The consequence: you can't undo what's been done. Once you've crossed the line, there's no going back. What happens when everything you fought for crumbles to dust? The battle is over, but the aftermath is just beginning. Even if you survived, things will never be the same. You've uncovered the truth, but now the world you knew is forever changed. Are you prepared for what comes next? This isn't about victory, it's about survival in a world that's already moved on. And trust me, it's worse than you think. The surviving vampires have scattered, leaving behind a trail of devastation. Families torn apart, friendships betrayed, and the very fabric of society unraveling. But that's not even the worst part. You're left to pick up the pieces, but the damage is done. People you once knew are gone, and new dangers are lurking in every shadow. The fight may be over, but the war? The war is far from won. As the sun sets on what was once a familiar world, the consequences of your actions echo louder with each passing moment. You thought you were the hero. You thought the hardest part was done. But now the real nightmare begins. And it's something far worse than any vampire. It's the darkness inside the people who are still left. You didn't ask for any of this. All you wanted was answers. But now you know too much. You saw things no one should have ever witnessed. That night, when the world turned upside down, you were just a pawn in a much bigger game. The vampire clans were never just about blood, they were a weapon, a tool in the hands of something far more powerful. In the quiet aftermath of the battle, you realize how little you truly understood. The war isn't just about survival. It's about control. The vampires, the ones who survived, have gone into hiding. But their thirst for power is far from quenched. They've regrouped. They're planning something, and you're no longer in the dark. There are whispers in the streets, rumors of strange gatherings, of a new leader rising among them. Someone who knows how to keep the darkness at bay, but is willing to sacrifice anything or anyone to do it. And this time, they won't make the same mistakes. They've learned, adapted, and they're coming for you. But it's not just them you have to worry about. No, the true monsters are the ones who used to be your allies. People who once stood beside you in the battle against the vampires now have different ideas about what needs to be done. They're not afraid to make deals with the devil, to sacrifice anything, no matter the cost. As days pass, the weight of what you've done starts to settle in. What have you really achieved? The vampires are still out there, still a threat. People you thought you could trust are falling apart, and your friends? You start to wonder if any of them are truly on your side anymore. But amidst all the chaos, one thing is certain: the world is changing. And not for the better. Something worse than vampires is creeping in, something darker, something that no one saw coming. The true consequences of what you unleashed are only now starting to reveal themselves. You've been tracking the movements of the remaining vampire factions, trying to piece together any shred of information that could give you an edge. But every lead turns cold, every whisper leads you into more darkness. Feels like you're running in circles. And then you find it. A cryptic message left behind in blood. A name. A date. A location. It's too precise to be coincidence. But when you arrive, you're met with nothing but silence. No vampires. No allies. Just an empty, dilapidated building. And then you hear it, the sound of footsteps behind you. You turn. But it's not a vampire standing in front of you. Someone from your past. Someone you thought was dead. They've been playing both sides this whole time. And now they have all the answers. The real question is, do you even want to know what they've done to survive? Everything you fought for is crashing down around you. You realize the battle for control, the fight for survival, was never truly in your hands. There were forces at play that you could never have imagined. And now there's no turning back. The world you knew is gone. The bloodshed, the betrayal, the lies, it's all led to this moment. The vampires, the survivors, the ones who made it through the chaos, they're not the real threat anymore. True monster is the world itself. And as you stand on the edge, looking out at the wreckage, you realize something chilling. You're not sure if you're going to make it out of this alive. But even if you do, can you live with the consequences? If you want to know what happens next, make sure to subscribe and catch the next chapter.